Nice. So, Julian, something to add there?
Yes, I was accepted for a certain scholarship. I apologize, I cannot think of the name. This happened like a couple months ago, but everything she said was correct. No, I didn't have to give like a voice memo or anything, but like I had to, there was a template sent to me for a thank you
Uh-huh.
letter, and I had to fill that out. And then I think they sent me one other thing like a couple weeks later, and I had to do that too. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, you know. People are willing to give money to you. At the least you could do is say thanks. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. And
been
then,
there, done that.
well, the main goal of that too is because you never know, like the person who's donating the money, and establishing, let's say, one scholarship. You don't know, like in the future, what their wish may be. So
Right.
they might really find it as a really good use, and they may want to establish like a second scholarship for some reason. So it really helps with the relationship building and promotes, I guess, getting like possibly more donations for the students that really need it, that can really benefit from scholarship funds, and ultimately kind of, will help, our student population that really needs it be able to afford a college education.
Right. And uh, all that is true. I've in my in my experience found myself surrounded by very generous students, and let me say this. Let me try to say this better. So what I'm trying to say is there are a lot of generous donors that are giving their money for us to succeed, and all that they ask for us in return is a thank you letter, and that is extremely that's amazing. That's easy for students to do. That's not pulling any teeth, and I have also done that, as Julia said, where we would sit down in a room and we would try to write down very thoughtful letters thanking the donors. And I would say that uh, at the point where they support us very, very generously on our financial aid, uh, it's hard to say like through words like thank you because no one can really like verbalize that specifically to the donors. But I want to just add that tidbit. Like from my experience, that's been my thing. So, so my questions. So, kind of bringing it to the end, what is kind of like the best advice for a Lewis student uh, that they should hear on how to obtain a strong GPA or just a strong standard? What is like the best advice for students to try to go about when they try to uh, hit those high academic standards?
So like the best advice for them, you mean to like perform well, like in their classes, and get ultimately like a good GPA?
Yes.
Really, it's just kind of keeping up with the requirements of your classes, much like you would do in your previous years. You have to be active and pretty much present in all of your courses, and make sure that you're following up with all of the assignments and projects that are required of you to receive a decent grade based on each of the classes that you're enrolled in. You know how at the beginning your professor is going to issue you a syllabus and describe like the weight that each assignment carries and how that may impact your grade. So you really have to be mindful of that
Mm,
and make sure that you're handing in whatever is required of you. That'll pretty much guarantee like the most points that you can get in order to achieve ultimately a good grade in that class, because it's all going to add up to your cumulative grade point
right.
average. and it's all going to affect, the financial aid that, well, it's going to affect some of the financial aid that you receive, such as scholarships. Um, but all of that is pretty much taken care of as long as you try and as you're present and you're pretty much delivering, handing in what is required of you. Um, I think with that in mind, that pretty much can help you succeed in all of your classes. Showing up for your class, of course, and making sure that you're not like enrolling for classes that you start to drop them all like frequently. That can affect your overall like status of and eligibility for financial aid as well. Um, so kind of just keeping on top of it and making sure that if you don't understand something or you need additional help, we do have supporting resources for that as well that you can reach out to. I know we have a whole department that offers tutoring, and the library offers services that you may find yourself needing for a specific assignment. So don't be afraid to use those or to go to someone that can help further explain what's being asked of you for a specific assignment if you don't feel that you understand it at first.
Right. And by the way, that stuff's free too. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it. Free tutoring and free financial, not financial, free writing center. Just saying,
Mm-hmm.
free. Just saying, everybody, free, free, free. I look. I get really excited when I talk about this stuff too because uh, students need to know. Students just need to know that it is free. And with the pandemic on top, I'm sure some things have changed in a virtual sense. But
Yeah.
just I'm just saying, by the way, that stuff's free, everybody. So when it comes to working hard, resources are available, including financial aid and including uh, the the Julian, help me. What's the word again?
Yeah, like I think students maybe like I don't know, they're afraid or intimidated to like ask questions because like
Hmm.
in general that's how I find students are like they kind of just maybe they're used to to not handling certain things on their own so they're like don't even bother to ask if they may have a question but I
Interesting.
think I've learned and I've found myself in the position where if I don't understand something or if I feel like I need some extra help, instead of me like taking it on my own and trying to research it on my own, I start to ask like maybe there's somebody that knows how to navigate this. Maybe like I
Hmm.
had to write a paper and I didn't know how to use this, so instead of like not finding out and just doing a basic internet search, I went to the library and I met with a research librarian that kind of taught me how to find reputable sources and stuff like that. It's just like by asking.
Hmm. That's a good point. I that's something that as a student that's very involved, me and Julian could both say this. When it comes to getting information out to students, it is a bit of a struggle to make sure that everyone does know that uh, you know writing center is free. But
Yeah.
what people do, or what Lewis does to kind of counter that, is or at least try to work to make students aware, is make sure that the professors and teachers promote it. Right. For example, in college writing, they offer extra credit for students that go to the writing center, for example, or uh, just trying to point out students to like, oh, where's the business office? It's over there. Where is the writing centers? It's over there. It's um and student leaders on campus do their best also to make sure that students are aware, uh, but we don't get everybody. And that's actually something I never thought about. Students do get intimidated when it comes for asking for this stuff.
It may be true for like first year students, I'm not sure, but hopefully it's like a first year student kind of thing because I would suppose like once you've gone through, your first year, you're at a point where you feel more comfortable, and you hopefully got a chance to visit. You had to visit the library, so you at least know where it is, and you don't feel the same, like, I guess, shock of everything being new and nervous feeling of, oh, well, where's this building and where's that room? Like, you get a little, I guess, confused, or maybe worried that you're not gonna find this or that. But hopefully, or my thought would be that hopefully that's only like a maybe first year scenario, and I would hope that everyone starts to become comfortable well into their first semester at the school, once you've gotten a chance to walk around and locate your classes and kind of, see what's out there in the posts that we normally would have in the dorm rooms or in the main buildings where there's a lot of classes hosted, where they announce all these services and they promote like gatherings and library services. So for you to see that, it's like, oh, like, I remember I passed by a flyer once and it says something about tutoring. Like, maybe it strikes you and makes you remember that once you feel that you need the help. So
Yeah,
we also promote it that way.
Yeah, and when the students do get acclimated to the campus, something else I want to add on to that, they realize that everyone's friendly, everyone is welcoming, and even if it is down to assistance, they might be a little reserved at first, but when they do ask, they do realize that we are helping and we are willing to help students get that support or that resource in order to be successful, I would say, in my experience too. You got something to add, Julian?
No, man, you hit it right on the head.
Sorry, I'm like, got something to add. I want to make sure that my boy is not out of the spotlight
No,
there.
I got you.
Oh,
He
yeah.
is he is
I'm
my
soaking it in.
co-host. Yeah,
I'm soaking it all in, just like everybody
he's
else.
getting the info too. He's getting the info
Yeah.
too. So, kind of switching gears real quick. This kind of falls under the umbrella of financial aid, but it's kind of not. It's work study or federal work study. Could you touch on like what is needed to get federal work study, and like what is possible for students with a financial uh, aid package that says that they're able to get financial aid study or financial aid work?
Yeah, sure. So the main thing for that is basically you have to file a FAFSA, which is the application for student aid that comes out every year in October. It's basically your application for federal aid, and federal work study is just like it says, it's federal program that provides students with the opportunity to like work on campus and be able to earn some money. Although it's limited and subject to you finding a job, it is an opportunity available to most students. I'm not. I don't have the specifics of what's needed to be eligible. It's all just calculated based on your FAFSA data, and if you're eligible for it or not, it's always listed on your financial aid award letter that you get from our office every year. One thing I want to say though, I think it changed to where in the FAFSA application it asks you, are you interested in federal work study? And you have to put yes, of course, in order to be like determine if you're eligible for it or not. Because some students put no, and then they don't get it. Like they don't. It doesn't mean that they don't get it. It doesn't mean that they don't get it, but the FAFSA application itself didn't bother to figure out whether you're eligible for it or not because you put no, if that makes sense. So just make sure that when you're filling out your FAFSA, it's gonna ask if you're interested, and you always want to put yes if that's something that you're looking to do. So once you do that, you'll see it on your financial award letter that we give you each year if you did basically have eligibility for that or not. And now, just
Right.
because you're eligible for it, it's subject to you finding employment. So you have to apply for the jobs that become available on campus. And then if you're ultimately hired, you would then start working and earning part of that money. So it never goes, like most of you know, to your tuition bill. It just gets paid out to you just like if you were working at any other regular job.
Right. And both of us, Julian and myself, our financial work study approved. We're both resident assistants, and I've actually been approved for the majority of my time at Lewis. My freshman year, I worked for the shipping and receiving department. It was a fun job. I was driving the big green van every day, dropping off packages. And after my freshman year, I've been a resident assistant since my sophomore, junior, now my senior year. So it is easy for, not easy, it is available for students uh, to utilize the financial work study. And I do remember going into my Lewis portal under financial aid and checking off the box saying, do you want financial aid? Do you want financial federal work study rather? And I would check the
Yeah.
box, yes. I do remember doing that. So what I'm trying to say is, good point. Basically, yeah, students should be aware that federal work study is available to them, and there are so many jobs on campus for them to do. If that's like a receptionist, if that's working for shipping, receiving, if that's working for one of these many departments on campus, sitting at a desk, or in the IT department, or actually doing stuff in the IT realm with the computers or with the Wi-Fi, which we're currently on right now. There are many different jobs on campus for students to use and to work. So make sure that you guys are aware that that stuff does exist too.
Yeah, a lot
So
of the
good luck.
departments throughout the school, for the most part, um, at least have one or two. Maybe some of them have more, depending on the department that you're looking at. But usually, there's at least one or two work study students per department. It can anywhere from support services to like academic services. And now the rules with work study and things like that sometimes are subject to change because it's a federal program. But we always, will communicate any changes to current employees, federal work study employees, to let them know what any of those changes may be. I don't know currently how many jobs are open, given the fact that a lot of work is being done remotely. I don't know exactly that we may not have as many work study opportunities available this year just due to the situation that we're going. But in previous years, all of our work study jobs basically are throughout all of the campus, supporting all of the offices on campus, and are available at the beginning, always at the beginning of the school year.
Right. That is actually true. I remember sitting down at my desk at home prior to my freshman year, looking at the list of different jobs, and even today, even though some might not be available, don't get discouraged that you think this job might not be right for you. I applied to a couple of these jobs my freshman year. Some of them were sitting down at a desk doing work, but the shipping and receiving job did offer a bit of experience, kind of in the driving aspect. So that was fun for me. So there are many different departments that still offer that stuff today. You just got to be aware to look them up, basically. So I think we may have lost Julian. He might be handling something. He, like I said,
I'm
is a
here. I
resident
got
assistant.
froze for a little bit.
Oh, what'd you say? Oh, you said he
I'm
got
here.
frozen.
I had just gotten frozen, but we're all good.
All right, cool, cool, cool. Did you have a federal work position other than Res Life, Julian?
Yes, I did actually. I was a part of the event staff. So when you come to Lewis and you see, say, you see a soccer game or a volleyball game or a basketball game, I what I did was for like I would like tape women's or men's basketball or work the replay desk, or I would be the ball roller in volleyball, or I'd be the ball carrier in soccer games. Like it varied. Sometimes I worked the concession, sometimes or the admission, like the ticket booth or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it varies for each person, is what I found out, because sometimes like when I registered to become part of Res Life, I tried to do both, but I wasn't eligible to do both, so I had to pick, and I chose Res Life.
Me too.
But yeah, but yeah, I did have another job for 2 years before this.
Mm. Right, and actually, before I applied for Res Life 2, I was about to work at the Student Activities Office, but I chose Res Life 2. But I'm sure Student Activities is also another fun job. Obviously, they're one of the most fun jobs on campus, and go crazy with Student Activities. So, yeah, honestly, I don't think I have much else to say about financial aid, unless you have something else to add, Ms. Bustos.
I just wanted to say that I just wanted to say you guys are like a great example of basically what it takes to like kind of ultimately succeed in your college life. Like you here, just hearing you talk about how like you've taken advantage of pretty much everything that you get offered as a student. Like you've taken on work study positions, you've looked into being a resident assistant. You have looked into applying for scholarships for every year for support. You've taken advantage of all the services for tutoring or writing if you felt like you needed. Like you're not afraid to either ask or just seek something if you hear about it or if you see it promoted somehow. And that's really what it's about. Just kind of going for it and not holding yourself back or putting it off till later because I might not get the job. I have to write an essay for the scholarship. I'll do it tomorrow. Like I think you guys are like a great example of like of taking ownership and just kind of advantage of really all the resources that are available to help you like in every way because there's resources to help you not just financially but like like develop like being part of your organization that you're a part of like helps you develop these skills. So I'm really happy that you've learned how to take advantage of everything and it's helped you so much. And I think you're a great example for all of the students that will hear this of how to go about approaching all of the resources that are really created to help each and every student that walks through our door.
Oh, shucks, thank you for that. The honesty means a lot to me and
Thank you so
Jillian
much.
too. Yeah, it means a lot to us. And I do try my hardest, my best. Because kind of looking back, even before my freshman year, I remember those people in my life that pushed me to do better, pushed me to, focus on my future and uh, just be aware of my possibilities and my potential. And for me to utilize resources on campus, I kind of want to give that back. And it does mean a lot to even sit here and have this conversation and make sure that students, like I said, get that in the future. But again, thank you for that. That means a lot to me. So, and
Yeah.
like I said, like just trying to give it back. So, um, I guess we're running out of time a little bit soon, but um, kind of wrapping it up a little bit for the show. Do you have anything else to say about financial aid or uh, just anything to add as we begin to close out our show today?
No.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't have anything. I was just trying to say I ain't got nothing.
Oh, yeah. If you feel like you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to me or to our office. Like we're all still working in part remotely, in part in office, but we're constantly monitoring all of our voicemails and email messages. So feel free to reach out. I know a lot of students not everybody probably will share a good experience with our office, but just know that we really do try to stay on top of our communications and helping students addressing their concerns and questions. It just depending on the time of the year, sometimes may take a little longer than others. But we're here to help you and help answer any of the questions that you may have. Just a little bit of patience with us is great, and just wait to hear from us. We take pride in responding quickly to students. So you're welcome to always reach out to us if you have any questions about your personal financial resources or plan.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for that. All right, y'all. So I want to give a special thank you. Thank you so much to Ms. Bustos for being on our show again today. So again, thank you so much for this. I want to make sure that all the students are aware of the possibilities for financial aid and resources on campus. They do exist, my friends. So be sure to go to the LewisU website and look up scholarships and apply on the portal. We'll be sure to drop all the info in the description below. So scroll down and make sure that you give that website a visit. So, as we close out today, again, this is Jalen Bush, Vice President now of the Nova Nu Epsilon chapter at Lewis University. I wish everyone safety. I wish everyone, I'm forgetting my lines, just good luck this fall, bro, everybody. So, thank you all so much and take care of yourselves.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend, and thank you so much for having me again. I really appreciated the opportunity to speak to you all.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.